All this picture you see up on my phone screen is massacre by one particular group in Nigeria, Fulanis, and their major target is on Christian and Hausa Muslim. Now this first picture you see up on my phone screen, that is Bokos, my own state, Benue State. Dozens of people were massacred by Fulani Militia. Now the other picture you see, that is Kogi, and all the people you see there are being massacred by same Fulani Militia. Mind you, all those places I'm showing you are Christian part of Nigeria. Now recently, Kwara is empty. Massacre is going on in Kwara State. And here's another picture. This is Plateau State. Dozens of people are being massacred on daily basis from this same tribe, Fulani Militia. Now recently, 50 plus Muslims were massacred when they were observing their morning prayer in Katsina. And majority of the people in that prayer were Hausa tribe. The rest are just few tribes from other tribe. Enugu massacre. A lot of massacre has been going on in Nigeria for years. But my happiness is recently the whole world is knowing what is going on in Nigeria. Nigerians are not talking about it, and if you want to talk about it as Nigeria, you've been silent by some group of people. That the world will not know what is going on. They will think it's only Gaza that is suffering. And mind you, the people that have been pie in Gaza is not up to a pitch of people that have been pie in Nigeria, in a country where there is no war going on. But people talk about Gaza more than talking about Nigeria massacre. But my own country called Nigeria, that there is no war going on. At least 13, 14, 20 people are being pie on daily basis. And most of them are Christian. And if they are Muslim, they are Hausas. And the funniest part is, our government are not talking about it. Even some people claim, this is not my claim, allegedly that most of the places that Fulani are chasing people out of the state, that there are natural resources on those soils. Now Fulani allegedly want the land, while our government allegedly want the natural resources under those spaces that Fulanis are chasing people. I really appreciate that the whole world now know what is going on in the country called Nigeria, because they think Nigeria is peaceful. My country, Nigeria, is not peaceful. We have about 36 states in Nigeria, and the peaceful part of that state is not even more than 5. So there are a lot of massacre. There are a lot of persecution on Christian and Hausa Muslims.
I'm speaking to every one of you Nigerians, and I want us to take note of this. We all have, I keep saying it, we have a responsibility to defend and protect the integrity of our country. We also have a responsibility to make sure that this country do not go into the point where we continue to ride on deception. Truth is truth, and truth must not be covered for anything. If there is anything that has been brought up, we must work together to see to an end to this reality. There is this issue that is ongoing about the genocide in Nigeria against the Christians or the Middle Beltans. It is true. We can't deny it. Before the militants and some of the Islamic militants began to kill some of the Hausas in Zamfara and other places, we all know that Christian communities were totally displaced. And we have recorded tens of thousands of Christians in the northern Nigeria that have been killed and their communities have been taken away. This is genocide. What is the meaning of genocide? I mean, the English definition is there. What genocide means. Now, I want you, except you are an enemy of Nigeria, but if you know that you're passionate and you're patriotic about the state of this country, then we must share this among ourselves and speak the truth to ourselves and agree with the reality of what is on ground. I have had some of the special assistant media and all of that to the president coming out to say there is no genocide in Nigeria. It's a lie. Absolute lie. Just look at it. From in 2025, over 7,000 Christians were killed. Now, in just 2025, 7,000 87 Christians were killed in 220 days of 2025 alone. Now, daily average Christians that are being killed per day is 32 Christians per day that are being killed in this country. Another record, in 2024, 3,100 Christians were killed. In 2023, 4,118 Christians were killed. Between the period of October 2022 to September 2023, from the documents that we have, 4,118 Christians were killed. We all know about the Christmas massacre that was coordinated by the Fulani Militias on the plateau in 2023. You know that 300 Christians were massacred. So you don't talk about Benue. Just within 2023, 500 Christians were killed throughout 2023 in Benue. And you go to this community, I have been there. The Christians are not there any longer. They have been displaced. So there is genocide in Nigeria. And so nobody can tell us lies when we know we have lost so much of our brethren. I have joined in the burial and the mourning of tens of thousands of Christians that have been destroyed and killed in this great country. All I encourage the Nigerian state is to rise up to occasion. Whether it is an attack on a Muslim, whether it is an attack on a church, we must stop it. There is genocide going on. And people are being eliminated, taken away from their community. And I want to say again, we cannot allow a one-party system in this country. It is not healthy. As much as we give our support to the system and the government to succeed, Nigeria cannot survive on one-party system. And I want to say to all these selfish, self-centered politicians, it is time you rethink your actions. Corruption among you must stop. And you must rise up for this time to make sure that Nigeria is salvaged and that together we fix this country. May God help every Nigerian, and may God continue to watch over the system and make things work for the good of everyone. God bless you. Share this with every Nigerian of good conscience. Let's pray. Number 2, let's participate in the process and make sure that people don't just come on media. I was hurt, I was injured to see some of these media men coming on to say there is no genocide in this country. Lies must stop, and it must stop in our time.
Nigeria have seen a lot of crises, especially by the attacks by the Fulani herdsmen, especially in the town of Bokos, where we have gone for a lot of emergency response to the recent crisis that is going on.
And what is happening, Paul? As I understand it, Islamic fundamentalist tribes and groups like Boko Haram are attacking Christians. And I've seen videos, Paul. I'm not capable at this time of sharing those videos, but I've seen these videos. It appears to me they come riding into town, bullets flying, gunfire exploding all over the place, and people running for their lives.
These are all calculated attacks by the Fulani herdsmen. They go into villages, killing and shooting at people. They destroy houses, they destroy a lot of churches, and then they render most of this community useless.
And Paul, you mentioned it's been going on since 2009. We can share the numbers. We have shared the numbers. I think it's upwards of 100,000 people that have died. But from your perspective on the ground, like how devastating has this been to the Christian community in Nigeria?
It is very, very, very devastating, very unfortunate. From the start of this year to this moment, I think we have lost over 3,000 persons into these attacks.
See, The next thing about the Nigerian Senate, I think rather than going to pass a motion, which we all know, yes, it's not a case of Christian genocide in Nigeria. Insecurity affects us, all of us. I think the Senate should really pass a motion mandating the government to be able to stop the insecurity in total. Because we are seeing the wave of insecurity we cannot even understand. Kogi, Kwara, the list is endless. So I think it's a very futile argument to make by saying we want to tell the Americans that it's not only Christians that are being attacked, but it's not futile because other people are being attacked. Should people be attacked in the first place? Where Section 14, Section 2B of the Constitution says that the security should be the sole aim of the government, security of the people. So I think that motion should not be against the talk about Christian genocide, which we know is being perpetrated by a wide-range Christian nationalist group in America, the likes of Open Door and the likes. It should be how we can even find lasting solutions to the level of insecurity in the country.
I know many of you don't listen to within the urban voyage, though this genocide of a thing is something that is okay. It's been online for over 1 week plus now. But the truth of the matter is this: if you carefully understand the game way them they play every Nigerians, you go know that the genocide that is okay people they talk about is not supposed to be on one region. You know, if you understand how they play Hausa Muslim, you gonna say, okay, within the first guy will not decipher the talk, not truth to be seen the talk, because these Fulani Militia, they don't know anything. Will be so okay, it concerns Christian or Muslim. Their own belief is this: they want to make sure that okay, they reduce each and every Nigerians in number. That is their aim agenda, and that is what that brought them to this country. They don't want to even like see anybody who is okay, they even believe or dance to their own tune, which is their own buying of people. You know, the only thing will be okay them, those Fulani Militia value is buying of people or reducing of numbers of population of people that are not belong or that doesn't belong or don't belong to their own society. That is what they have been doing. I want to use this opportunity now to like let you guys know that this issue we every one of us is facing. It's not something we be okay, you go push them on one person that okay, this is the person who is doing me this or that. Now we say no, they try to let una know so that una go fit come together to like destroy our enemies. Although there is something that Ben Kalu says that I would like you guys to hear before I will come back. Thank you.
Like I mentioned, Mr. Speaker, it's an matter of urgent public importance. Need for a coordinated diplomatic and domestic response to the proposed Nigerian Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025, U.S. Senate Bill S2747, and to mischaracterization of Nigeria's security and religious freedom landscape. This bill, sponsored by all members of this House. The House notes that on 9th September 2025, Mr. Speaker, a bill titled Nigeria's Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025, S2747, was introduced in the United States Senate, seeking to require the U.S. Secretary of State to designate Nigeria a consigned country of particular concern, if you like, country of particular concern, known as the CPC, and to impose sanctions on Nigerian officials under Executive Order 13815 8. Global Magnitsky and related authorities. The House further notes that the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, USCIRF, has in recent annual report recommended Nigeria for CPC designation, citing persistent violence and violations and state failures to protect against non-state actor abuses. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House recognizes that Nigeria's constitution guarantees freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, and bars adoption of a state religion, and that successive administrations, security agencies, faith leaders, and civil society continue to undertake measures to protect all worshippers and prosecute offenders, as reflected in the U.S. Department of State's 2023's country chapter and prior reports. Mr. Speaker, the House also observes that insecurity in Nigeria is complex and multi-causal, driven by insurgency, driven by criminal banditry, farmer-header conflicts, separatist violations, and communal disputes affecting citizens of all faiths. International reporting attributes a significant share of fatalities to terrorist groups and criminal gangs, rather than state policy on a single religious dynamic. The Speaker of the House is concerned that external legislative action based on incomplete or decontextualized assessment risks undermining Nigeria's sovereignty, misrepresenting facts, straining strategic relations, and unintentionally emboldening violent actors. Mindful of Nigeria's long-standing partnership with the United States as our ally, especially on counter-terrorism, human rights, democratic governance, and interfaith dialogue, the African Union's emphasis on tolerance and inclusive societies. Based on this, Mr. Speaker, the House resolves as follows. Number 1, condemn all forms of violence and prosecution against any person or group on the basis of religion or belief, and commiserate with all victims irrespective of faith. The House resolves to reject outrightly narratives that frame Nigerian security crisis as a singularly religious conflict or a state-sponsored persecution, and reaffirms Nigeria's constitutional protections, freedom of religion and belief. The House mandates committees of foreign affairs, national security and intelligence, interior and information, national orientation and values, to within 21 days coordinate with A, the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Nigerian Embassy in Washington, D.C., to lodge a formal diplomatic demand to the sponsors of S-2747, relevant U.S. committees, transmitting empirical data and Nigeria's official position. B, coordinate with the U.S. mission in Nigeria and interested U.S. legislators to propose a Nigeria-U.S. joint fact-finding and dialogue mechanism, freedom of religion or belief, with participation from faith leaders and independent experts, and to invite USCIRF to a hearing or briefing of this House to examine sources, methodology, and remedies. And if they like, invite a delegation of this Parliament, the 6 geopolitical zones of this country, to brief the U.S. Senate on the facts on ground. The House resolved to call on the National Human Rights Commission, police, DSS, and relevant state authorities to submit to the House within 30 days a consolidated report on investigations and prosecutions relating to religious-framed violence since year 2023, identifying bottlenecks and resource needs. This will confirm the House and government position that there is no state-sponsored persecution on the basis of religion. The House further mandates the committees on legislative compliance to ensure execution of these resolutions, Mr. Speaker, and to report back to the House within 28 days. The House resolved to order that this resolution be transmitted to the Presidency, Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the heads of security agencies, the United States Congress leadership, Senate Foreign Relations, House Foreign Affairs, the U.S. Department of State and the USC, IRF, the African Union, and ECOWAS Commission. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Now, I'll be so okay, then yeah, within Ben Kalu don't talk. It is time for every one of you to start disregarding anybody saying that this genocide on this religion over one or the other. Even me, we be see at the talk now. Me, I am a Christian, and I have so many Muslims that are my cousin. So being a Christian that I am, cannot just categorize me to be like enemy to my cousin, because all this thing we are doing, we're just doing all this thing because we serving the living God, and the living God that every one of us is serving is one. So many of you guys are saying that this Muslim, this Christian, this one is buying my people, this one is reducing my people. Many of one of you should just calm down from all these lies coming from people will be so okay, they won't cause war between Christian and Muslim, so that peace go day. Say okay, now peace every one of us need in this country. Nobody need any country, or nobody want to stay in a country that is chaotic. That is why we normally come to let you guys know that any country that is better, some other like people from other different countries would like to be visiting the country. That is why we keep pushing or letting you guys know that you people should calm down, do your thing together, so that everything will go smoothly. That's just it. You hearing us now, if you have anything to say concerning this, you should drop your own thoughts below, and also in today be your own first time, make you like, share, and make you subscribe. Every one of you should subscribe and share it. Thank you.